Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. Today we are going on a deep dive into the history and background of Grimes. Scuba gear is expensive, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the work for you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. But before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Head over to the Hot Tea Twitter account to follow and let me know of any tea or topics that you would like us to cover. Alright, so let's get into it. Real quick, who is Grimes? Grimes is a Canadian singer, songwriter, producer, and visual artist. She has done collabs with Bring Me the Horizon, Janelle Monae, K-pop group Loona and Poppy. She is a recent ex to Elon Musk, having had a child with him by the name of Ash812. I don't know, man. Just a brief side note on the baby's name. Elon went on the Joe Rogan podcast and was asked how to pronounce the baby's name. Elon said rather quickly that his partner, being Grimes, came up with the name and said, quote, "She's great at names." Sarcasm? Maybe. I'll put up a quick clip here so you can watch it and see for yourself.
And then, how do you say the name?
Well,
is it a placeholder?
First of all, my partner is the one that actually mostly came up with the name.
Congratulations to her.
Yeah, she's great at names. I mean, it's just X, the letter X. The AE is like pronounced Ash. A12 is my contribution.
Oh, why A12?
Archangel 12, the precursor to the SR-71. Coolest plane ever. It's true.
I don't want to speculate here, but I just felt the attitude, you know? Like, his contribution to the name was equally as strange, but it's like he has this energy of, yes, I'm weird, but your weirdness isn't as good or justified. Does that make sense? Anyway, back to what we're here for, Miss Grimes. Songs that she is most well known for are Venus Fly, Vanessa, Genesis, Go, Flesh Without Blood, Butterfly, and Belly of the Beat. You most likely have heard her song Oblivion, which blew up on TikTok with a remix and triggered a fever dream video type trend with makeup tutorials, get ready with me videos, and all sorts of springing up everywhere, using that song as the audio. She was born in Vancouver and named Claire Butcher, and she came into the music scene back in 2007. Like most influencers back then, Grimes started her online career on MySpace. Oh my god, MySpace. Can we just appreciate the times that were MySpace for a second? The hair, the makeup, the scene kid. All that cringy beauty. Grimes gave us her debut album in 2010 called Gaiety Primes. Since then, she has released 5 more albums, and her 2012 album Visions made the NME 500 Greatest Albums of the Year list in 2013. That year, Grimes also won the Artist of the Year award at the Webbies. Grimes then went on to win Best Dance Video for her song Venus Fly at the Much Music Video Awards in 2017, and she won a Juno Award for Video of the Year with her song Kill V Maim. We're currently awaiting her 6th studio album. No one in the spotlight of the internet seems to be a stranger to drama. Grimes is no exception to that. In this portion of our little mini documentary, we are going to talk about the main drama related to Grimes. Let's start with Poppy. Poppy is a singer-songwriter and YouTuber. Her first got attention for her unsettling YouTube videos that portrayed her as some kind of perfect android doll-like creature thing. In 2017, she signed with a record label and began releasing music. Honestly, you guys, her music is not that bad. I kinda actually dig it. That song, I Disagree, slaps. Grimes and Poppy collabed and did 2 songs together back in 2018, and this is where our drama starts. After the song was released, a fan tweeted at Grimes saying that it was great, and she responded simply saying meh. It was then noticed that Grimes had unfollowed Poppy on Twitter. Poppy did an interview with Billboard and said that Play Destroy, which is the song that she collabed with Grimes on, was one of her favorite songs on the new album, despite the quote behind the scenes process that she quote could have gone without. Poppy claims to have been quote bullied into submission by Grimes and that they had planned to release the song months ago, but Grimes was preventing it. She continued on about how Grimes and her team are, quote, self-proclaimed feminists, but behind closed doors, not so much. Poppy called it upsetting and disheartening. Grimes clapped back and released a note that she later deleted saying, "Poppy, you dragged me into a disgusting situation and you won't stop punishing me for not wanting to be a part of it. I don't want to work with you. You leaked the song anyways. You got what you want. Let it go." After Grimes deleted this, she then reposted it with another note saying, "I feel stupid responding. I hate tabloidy drama. I'll delete this shortly, but just defending myself. Would love if we could all just get back to work." Grimes deleted this one as well. Grimes was going to feature Poppy on a song called We Appreciate Power, but ended up replacing her with an artist called Hannah. Now, let's talk about the super weird drama between Grimes, Azealia Banks, and Elon Musk. In 2018, Azealia Banks went to LA to do a collaboration with Grimes. Apparently, Azealia was stood up for this. She took to her Instagram story and posted story after story after story after story. She really went off on this, and there is a lot. She was apparently in Elon Musk's house alone waiting for Grimes. Things turned kind of crazy with this situation. Sorry, strike that. Things turned absolutely batshit crazy with the situation. Azealia released an Instagram story where she basically says that she was invited to Elon and Grimes' home for a music collab, and it turned into them attempting to do some weird threesome sexual thing.
That's why I came out there. I didn't come out there because I give a fuck about Elon Musk. Whatever little fucking raggedy alien sex that y'all niggas was trying to set me up for. You know, I was trying to get out there, get my shit poppin'. What a waste of time.
She implies in this Instagram story that Grimes brought her there so she could impress, quote, her man. Azealia goes on about how weird Grimes is and that how Azealia doesn't give a fuck about Elon and that's not why she came out there, etc, etc. Not to say that I call bullshit on any of this, but in this Instagram story, Azealia starts off saying that the soap thing was the reason that she was really going out there, and then she kind of ends the story saying that Elon was not the reason that she was going there.
And you know, a bitch came out there with a whole box of soap. I'm like, oh, work. Like, you know, he was supposed to help me write this business plan for GPXO and all this other shit. Like, that's really why I came out there, you know what I mean? To do this music and, like, get my fucking shit together. Like, telling me this nigga's building rocket ships and shit. I'm like, well, shit, you know, soap isn't really rocket science. Maybe he can help me with this thing. And then, you know, he was like, yeah, blah, blah. He's gonna help you with your business plan. That's why I came out there. I didn't come out there because I give a about Elon Musk.
Likely, she's saying the sexual aspect is not what she was going there for, and it was just the collaboration. Maybe the soap thing was something that she was going to bring up later. I don't know. I'm just trying to make that make sense. After the ordeal that weekend, the receipts came out. Azealia took to her Instagram story, again, told you, and started saying that Elon would be, quote, better off with an escort, and that Grimes runs around and talks about his business and everything about him. She calls Grimes, quote, some dirty sneaker inbred out of the woods, Pabst beer pussy meth head junkie. Damn, okay. She also says, quote, Grimes really is an idiot. I honestly cannot think of another time where someone called someone else out so hard on the internet. Like, think about it. We see influencers and YouTubers and celebrities bump heads all the time, but Azealia really didn't hold back, and you honestly don't see that so much. She did not mince her words and absolutely said it with her chest. It turns out that Elon and Grimes had plans to go to DEF CON in Vegas that same weekend that Azealia flew to LA, allegedly. A spokesperson for Elon stated that Elon has never met Azealia, nor has he ever communicated with her in any way. There was no denial of Azealia being at the Musk property that weekend though. Interesting. Elon released a quote saying that the only time he had ever laid eyes on Azealia was Friday morning for 2 seconds at about a 30-foot distance as she was leaving the house, saying, I just finished working out, she was not within hearing range, I didn't even realize who it was. That's literally the only time I've ever laid eyes on her. What is even happening here? This is the weirdest drama literally ever. Azealia shared a conversation between herself and Grimes talking about Elon and his member. His downstairs mix-up, let's say. There were a lot of texts between them about the Russians supposedly wanting Elon dead, and Elon trying weed and being, quote, entertained by 420 and wanting to change Tesla stocks from $419 by rounding them up to $420. This created a huge problem and had Tesla investors issuing lawsuits against Elon. As you can see, super messy and super weird, but from looking at these messages between Grimes and Azealia, Grimes obviously feels very close with Azealia and trusts her. I mean, you would need to trust someone to disclose information like this and say that she wants to be pregnant at the same time as her. That's like bestie shit. Anyway, the day after Azealia releases these screenshots, Grimes and Elon unfollow each other on Instagram, and Elon unfollows Grimes on Twitter. Then Azealia takes to her Instagram story again and said that there were attorneys getting involved and that she was being blackmailed and was told that she could go to jail. What the is happening? Like, the deeper we get into this, the more confused I get somehow. Like, Elon is an interesting character in the world, for sure. He's space obsessed, super rich, supposedly super smart. And then you have Grimes, who is an interesting character in all of this on her own, with the alt electro type music and interesting fashion sets. But then you combine Elon and Grimes together as a couple, and that's a whole thing. But then you throw in Azealia Banks to the mix, and just what? Let's continue. After that string of stories, Azealia then posts an apology to Elon. Yes, an apology. After all that, Azealia posted this apology to Elon where she says that she feels terrible about everything and that a cat fight turned into something much more serious. She stated that she felt awkward and uncomfortable ever having learned anything personal about him and that it was never her intention to use any of that information against him. She finishes up the letter by saying that she is aware that he's a fan of her music and that she would like to meet him properly should he be interested. Do you guys think that this apology is genuine? One thing that I've noticed in this research is that she does kind of adjust her language depending on who she's talking to. So this is totally just a theory, and this is absolutely not me saying this is a fact, but in one of the text screenshots that she released between herself and Grimes, you can see that she says something about seeing children in the invisible world. And even at the end of her apology letter to Elon, she gets more spiritual and the prosperity wishes, etc. It feels kind of Star Trek-y. No offense to any Trekkies out there. But hear me out. In her Instagram stories after the weekend thing, she's calling Grimes weird and that now she feels weird. I kind of feel like Azealia might be just fucking weird though. Like, Grimes is obviously a strange and interesting person, but do you think it's likely that she's making friends with people that aren't similar to that? In my opinion, Azealia is a spacey weirdo too, and maybe only shows that side behind closed doors or when the moment is right. And then on her Instagram stories and in front of her fans or whatever, that character changes. So this went cold for a while until December when Poppy came for Grimes again. This set Azealia off with yet another Instagram story.
I woke up like, yes, the girls are fighting. I live for it. I said, work, Poppy, get her.
Azealia decided to hop on the wagon saying, work, Poppy, get her. Again with the super long Instagram stories, but for the life of me, I cannot find where or what Poppy set to fire this up again. So if any of you know or have something about that, like, please comment down below. But it does kind of show just how quick Azealia was ready to trash Grimes again. Keep this in mind because it's important later. Cut to January when it was said that Grimes and Azealia are given subpoenas from Tesla and might have to face court. This stemmed from the shared text screenshots mentioning the $420 Tesla share thing and Elon facing a lawsuit for that from Tesla investors. I find it super interesting that this weird and honestly pretty petty and immature drama is directly connected to one of the biggest and most wealthiest companies and one of the most successful businessmen in the whole world. Like, this odd back and forth with Azealia and Grimes talking about dick sizes and songs about dicks and getting pregnant at the same time, and then Poppy getting roped in and just like, what? Like, Tesla. Like, Elon Musk. Like, look at these texts. These are texts back and forth between Azealia and Grimes, and the cringe with this conversation, I literally cannot. Pause to read if you like. I am very soon from getting off this topic and on to the next one. Okay, with all of that in mind, in September in 2021, it was announced that Grimes and Elon had split up. Azealia quickly took to her Instagram story again, saying they could, quote, finally work on those songs. Azealia, what? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but we saw very clearly in that text conversation that Azealia told Grimes that Elon was way out of her league and that he still wanted Azealia, quote, bad, and now she's kind of making it seem like Elon was the one in the way of the collab. Also, wasn't it like, yas, Poppy, get her, not that long ago? Now you're trying to be besties again? What the Honestly, the energy that Azealia gives off reminds me of someone a little manic. The constant posting out someone to the point that it feels obsessive, to the accusations of Elon having attempted to poison her. It's just a lot. I mean, no offense when I say it feels manic, but something is just a little off with the whole story, right? Okay, now let's talk about some more recent stuff with Grimes. She took to TikTok saying that she has been a bit of a hermit in regards to the internet and has developed a sort of quote PTSD, having been involved in some conspiracies. This TikTok saying she was back, etc. was posted November 28th. The last TikTok before that was in September. So for context, that's about a month. Then she hit us with this beauty.
So a few months ago, I said I was interested in radical wealth redistribution through gaming, and everyone made fun of me and said I was insane, but I would like to explain myself, if that's okay. So I haven't been following this super deeply, but a few months ago I heard about this game called Axie Infinity, and apparently people in the Philippines were making like way more than their regular living from just playing this game. So the quote here I have is, "An hour's play per day now nets player nearly double the income of his feed sales job. About $2,000, 100,000 Philippine pesos last month. The rest of the time, he now looks after his grandmother. He doesn't question the game's utility nor the in-game demand that generates real money for him, calling it a blessing." So the currency from Axie Infinity can be traded on Coinbase, meaning that you could make money in the game, and then you could like trade that money into Ethereum or Bitcoin, and then subsequently trade that money into USD or any other currency, basically. And like, this is just some like, I don't want to say janky, but like early prototype. Like, this is just a thing that happened that has been massively benefiting like tons of people. It just kind of got me thinking. With the rise of automation, so many jobs are just not going to make any sense. So many jobs are going to be replaced. And, you know, obviously people just love playing video games. Almost everybody I know loves playing video games. And, you know, we could get into a system where people are doing enjoyable, creative things, where they're engaging with art, beautiful art, and making a living off it. And it's taking up way less of their day than if they were like working in a field picking strawberries, which frankly nobody should be doing. Like, that's an automatable job. And yeah, I mean, I guess that it's not traditional UBI, but I do wonder if there is a world in which we can kind of reconfigure gaming, where it can engage with crypto or engage with, or I'm sure a lot of games could have their in-game currency traded on Coinbase. And I mean, what would that do for the world? It would allow people to spend time, like, why would you be a janitor when you can play video games? You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, the trade-off seems significant. The improvement to human life seems amazing. And just a weird idea. What do you think? Let me know.
Okay, so let's just unpack this a little bit. I am torn between intrigue and rage on this one, to be honest with you. Who doesn't love the idea that everyone gets to do something they love and something that is creative and get paid for it? Not just get paid for it, but to make a livable wage from it. As a creative person myself, that is the ultimate dream and goal, right? But what is a problem here is that she seems to completely misunderstand that most people cannot get the means to do that. First off, the gaming industry is incredibly saturated. So in ways of making a livable wage of gaming and streaming on platforms like Twitch, you have millions of competitors. In just September 2021, it was reported that there were over 9 million active streamers on Twitch. I can only presume that a huge amount of those are gamers, but the exact number I couldn't find, but you get the idea though. I think more of what she's proposing here is some kind of coin that you can earn in the game that can be converted to cryptocurrency, which can then be converted into US dollars or whatever currency your country uses. Okay, another cute idea, but let's unpack that real quick. The concept of cryptocurrency, while huge, is not understood by everyone, especially not those in an older age group. Of course, there are always exceptions to everything, and I'm not meaning to be ageist in any way here, but for the sake of the point real quick, I'm pretty sure that we can all agree that most people do not have a deep understanding of cryptocurrency, or gaming for that matter. Speaking personally, I am useless at games and find that I lack the attention span to play for that very long. Something important that I think we should mention here as well is that gaming consoles and even the games themselves are not cheap. The current top of the line console is PS5, which retails around $500. The average cost of a game, let's just use this year's most popular one, Halo Infinite, is $60. Alright, here's some more math for you. The average minimum wage in America is $725 per hour. You would have to work almost 70 hours to make enough to buy the console, which I believe was super exclusive and hard to get your hands on at some point. That's with no purchase of games and you not spending any money on anything else, including rent, groceries, car stuff, etc. Anyway, The main point is that with Grimes saying this, she's really showing off how out of touch she is with the average person. It stings just a little bit more knowing that she was romantically involved and had a child with a man with a net worth of $261 billion. Side note as well, Grimes' net worth is allegedly about $3 million. Regardless of her ex's bank account, I think we can safely say that the struggle isn't as real for her when it comes to expenses, at least for the child, right? Let's take a look at some of the comments on this TikTok. One person says, "There's nothing wrong with being a janitor or picking strawberries. What's wrong is not making a living wage and not being able to afford healthcare." Another says, "She just said, instead of fighting the system, just cope." With another saying, "This girl has never worked a minimum wage job in her life, by the way." It was kind of hard to find any positive comments. Again, I am interested in this conversation, so seeing both sides is important, in my opinion, and that's how you can fully form your own opinion. One person did say, "This could really help with people who have things like disabilities or medical issues that don't allow them to leave the house as well." That's an interesting point, but the main vibe in the comment section was your ex is a billionaire and you're so painfully out of touch. What are your guys' opinion on this? I think specifically the part of the TikTok where she basically says, "Why be a janitor when you can be a gamer?" is borderline ignorant as fuck, but like the ideology is there for this utopia that she pictures for us. So like it's the thought that counts. Let me know your thoughts about this specific topic because I actually find it very interesting. And lastly, on some more current shit, I just want to touch on her new music video released, Player of Games. It's super on that gamer type vibe. The beat is electropop feels, and if you're into that, it's awesome. The video is well produced, even the part where she fully grabs her lightsaber, and I'm no Star Wars nerd, but I'm pretty sure that's a no-no as it's a bye-bye hand. It seems that possibly the storyline behind the video is a queen or warrior type character breaking away from her king. What do you think? Is it possibly representative of her past relationship with Elon? The king is shown as this big, ironclad looking knight guy, while she is soft and delicate and very much in her Grimes form. This gamer life / utopia vibe is very present here, so could it be that the TikTok of her exposing how out of touch she is was just some sort of publicity stunt before the drop of the music video? Or is it more likely that these are her true thoughts and there's just some ignorance going on here? Anyways, guys, that is it for today's deep dive. I hope you enjoyed our look into the current history of Grimes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as I find this super interesting, and Grimes herself is just a quirky one, right? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you can peep the future videos. And for now, I'm gonna leave you with this clip so we can rinse the weird spacey nerd drama from our eyeballs. All right, bye.